at their phone, or they're looking over your head, or they're looking everywhere else but your eyes. Right? Here at Business Wisdom Wednesday, we say we matter enough to each other to take a moment to get to know each other and to share, because you can take my information to places I don't even know, right? And I can take your information places you don't even know. And when we care enough to know that we're better together, amazing conversations are happening. And I want you to know that Business Wisdom Wednesday is designed for that. It's to slow us down so that we can get to know one another, share our business ideas, say what our business is doing, but also to share the news. So, my brother, Air Juice, how
Yes.
are you, brother?
Doing well.
Doing well. Yeah, that breath is real, man.
Yeah.
You have been doing business for years, but tell us who you are. I want everybody in the room to hear. I'm gonna get a picture of you also too. So
Fantastic.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Vishnu Jajinyo. I am the proprietor, founder of Air Juice Drinks, which is an organically based juicing business. We specialize in organic based juices, artisan iced teas, and non dairy milkshakes to help serve the community and help to answer the food desert crisis in DC.
Now, brother, the juice is smooth.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
like,
Appreciate that.
okay, and you choose glass, like glass bottles instead of. So you really put this. You got some thought into this. Can you unpack that for us?
Indeed, I think our part of our desire is not only to address the food desert crisis, but is also to make sure as we're doing it, we're also raising the environmental consciousness of those that are consuming our products. And
Yeah.
so we didn't want to start off with plastic or do kind of some of the things that we know that the environment is not initially going to answer friendly to. Right now, we know that climate change is a thing, and that our environments are suffering. So we wanted to be able to offer glass products to help raise the awareness that this is easier to recycle, as well as compostable cups that we use when we do sampling and things like that, so that we're trying to make sure that we're, as a company, is not only zero waste, but we're also making sure our customers are beginning to train their mindset to be a zero waste as well.
Thank you so much for saying that, because a lot of times people don't know the detail that goes into the business. You chose to be a member of the, Buy Our Hands program with Greater Washington Urban League.
Yes.
Why was that part of your success strategy?
I think you mentioned it earlier that I think networking, because oftentimes when you're becoming an entrepreneur, you feel like it's just you, and it's not only you in terms of your time, it's you financially, it's you just out there, trying to get your name out there. And so I think with By Our Hands, with the Culture Cooler, with the Greater Washington Urban League, it allowed me to be a part of a network of people who are trying to do the same thing, so that our struggle could be a collective struggle. And as you mentioned, like if it's anything we've learned from our ancestors, that we work together to overcome the things that are most challenging to us.
There it is, brother. And in that service of coming to class, but you also are a winner. You received the $10,000, and that was a blessing, right?
It is,
Can you
definitely.
talk about how you're using that blessing?
Yeah, so what it's helped us to do is to really strategize and to be able to step back. So much of being an entrepreneur is a hustle, and so
Yes.
every dollar that comes in, it's your sweat, it's your tears, it's your work, it's your hands. And so by receiving that grant, and it helped us to be able to take a moment to pause and really plan for a second and be a better business. Because when you're always moving and shaking, and even as a parent, when you're up in the morning, you're trying to pack the lunch and you're trying to get to work and you're trying to do all those things, it's like you're forgetting stuff, or your adrenaline is rushing. And so you want to just sometimes just be able to cool out for a moment and say, how do I best serve my people?
How do I
And that's
best
what that
serve my
grant did.
people? And that's one thing that I love about this other organization, Inspire Hospitality, is really going to be able to look at you from a digital perspective. If we are not reaching our customers using this AI technology, we're not using the right platforms, a lot of times people don't hear us. And if people are not hearing us, meaning if we're not known, if there's not an awareness of our business,
Mhm, mhm.
then there's a disconnect, right?
That's
Because
true.
people have to be aware, but people have to also be able to get your product. So
Yeah.
how do people get that air juice? How do we get the product?
They can log on to they can go to airjuicedrinks.com. They can also go to our Instagram page, which is at airjuicedrinks, and just be able to see the menu there, be able to order there. We ship, we deliver.
Mhm.
So in the area, so that's the main way that they can. And it also on our IG page, it allows us to be able to promote where we're going to be. So we
Yes.
do farmers markets, we do different pop ups, we do city events, Main Street,
Yes.
that kind of thing. So yeah.
And that's an amazing go-to-market strategy. When you're at these pop-ups, when you're at these markets, you not only get the people to sample the juice, but you get to literally make a ideal customer know that you exist. When you think about your favorite drink, because you have multiple flavors, what is your
Yes.
favorite?
So mine is the cashew shake, and so it's a cool cashew shake. It's a vegan shake that we do that allows us to use natural nutmeg, ground cinnamon, also just allow us to use organic cashews and just kind of blend all those together to make something that's tasty for folks and allows them to feel a little bit more comfortable. And it's an alternative to the dairy-based milkshakes that sometimes aren't necessarily not only not good for our body but also makes it feel a little funny at the end. So
Yeah.
yeah, we try to be a little bit more.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, we did a lunchtime mix and mingle over at the Greater Washington Urban League, and there was a line for the cashew. Now, I know that this is the season for that kind of warm
Yeah.
sit down. For those who want to buy about a gallon,
Yes.
for those who want to make sure that there's something healthy for the family when it comes to drinking a product, one more time, because I want them to know that they can order it and
Yes.
you do deliver.
Yes,
you get it
yes,
to
we
them.
do. Yeah, we just made a delivery this week to Elkridge, Maryland, and we shipped out to Durham, North Carolina. And so they can go to airjuicedrinks.com and order it. We do half-gallon jugs, again, all glass, so they can order it there. And
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
to give it to them.
So, yeah, before we land this plane, a lot of times people think, well, to go into business, you got to be just like the superhero.
Mm.
What was your reason for starting?
My mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
My-
your whole face just changed. Y'all saw that, right? Mom will make you do almost anything.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
come on, share that.
For sure. I
And
think,
bless her.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you for that. My mom was the first person that I saw go out into the garden and grab herbs and then make iced tea.
Mm.
And so I think when I saw her do that, I was like, Mom, what are these green leaves in my drink?
Yeah.
She was like, oh, we went out and got the spearmint from the garden and got the dill and got the this, and I was like, oh, okay. So watching her do that, as a kid, one day I said, I want to try to, do what she does.
Yeah.
And so, I started experimenting, adding cinnamon, adding different ingredients. And, it was just one of those things where, watching her do it and then having her watch me was like an aha moment for me. Like, we're continuing tradition.
No, we have lots of organizations, Thursday Network, the Guild, the Greater Washington Urban League. When you think about how could the community further support you, of course, you want us to buy the drink, right? But sometimes we don't ask for really what we need. The mic is hot. What do you need to get your business to the next level, brother?
I think honestly, I think it's one of those where I would like to see the community support a lot of the businesses in our field.
Yeah.
Because it's not just me.
Yes,
and
sir.
then when I'm out here, I see other Black-owned businesses that are doing, Latino-owned businesses that are doing things, and so we're all looking at each other, trying to find a way to get more customers. I think when we're having events like pop-ups, when we're out in Anacostia, when we're Main Street, all those people I want people to come out and just support and see what's out there, because I think when you support other entrepreneurs, you also support us, because we get to see how they're doing things successfully, and we have events like this where we can talk to each other, and then I can pick up from what they're doing, what was working for them, and we just I think a rising tide lifts all boats.
It does.
Yeah.
When those boats are ready to be lifted.
That's true.
See, the reason why the Greater Washington Urban League had the Buy Our Hands, because a lot of times we advertise businesses that are not ready. And when you advertise a business is not ready, you do more damage, because then that business has people expecting service. And when you're not ready to serve, you do a disservice to the customer and to yourself, because you can, especially dealing with food, you can literally kill somebody giving them the wrong thing.
Very true.
So this is why Buy Our Hands was designed, to make sure that our businesses have the support, infrastructure, and information to sustain when that rise happen, because we do rise.
Absolutely.
And we got to be prepared to sustain that that rise. And so I'm really happy and honored that you here, and that you are moving on purpose, and that you saw Mom and you are doing what she showed you, not just told you. So thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Business Wisdom Wednesday is all about this. So as you watch this, it's on you to bring this to life by giving this brother a call. He will bring that juice to you. And I tell you this because I've consumed this juice. When you are drinking what you're supposed to drink, it elevates who you're supposed to be. Check it out. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Now, there's people that's going to be to me, right? Did you, everybody get something to drink? Ready?